Allison LaForgia, managing editor of HousingWire's Content Studio, and today I'm with Leah Sommerville for today's episode of 10 Minute Talks.
Yes, thank you, Allison. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited to have you. And first, I want to congratulate you on your recent award for being named a HousingWire Rising Star. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Allison. I'm really excited.
It is very well deserved. And I want to start with a little backstory into your industry. So you are now the director of sales at DocMagic, but let's start with what got you into the mortgage industry.
Yes, I've always had a passion for business. And so when I graduated college, I walked into this industry like a wide-eyed little dove. I had no idea what to expect, and it has not stopped surprising me since the beginning. I will admit, I'm a millennial, so I expect to use technology in every aspect of my life. And so it's really was eye-opening to enter the mortgage industry and realize that there were a lot of paper and outdated processes. And so it's really been kind of a natural one foot in front of the other as we make change with that.
Now, you joined DocMagic in 2019. And since then, every time I see you, you've been a driving force behind eClosings and e-signature and digital workflows. Can you talk to me a little bit about what motivated you to help lenders or even the industry at large transition to a digital close workflow?
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of mentioned that I do use technology in my day-to-day life. And so I guess I thought everyone pushed button, got mortgage, but that wasn't necessarily really the case. And so because I'm a people person and a good problem solver, it just seemed like a natural fit for me to help lenders make that digital transformation from those outdated paper processes. Because I mean, if you think about it, the closing table is the last touch point these lenders have with borrowers. And it blew my mind to realize that that's a critical bottleneck.
And it's what they're left with, and that paper signing process is their last impression, right?
Absolutely.
When you're at that table.
Yes, and it goes more than just the paper signing process. Let's think about all the compliance that goes into that. Why would we have, in-house compliance teams when you can have partners that have the compliance expertise, generate documents in seconds, have your borrowers review them at their convenience, and then you have a 15-minute closing that's error-proof.
Now, 2019, it's been a minute. I feel like we've moved leaps and bounds since then. How hard was that for you when you first started?
It was a great growth opportunity because I certainly learned empathy.
Okay.
The borrowers couldn't go anywhere, lenders didn't know what to do, and so really that was the prime opportunity to implement digital closings that are possible from virtually anywhere. So I think it was kind of I hate to say it, but if I find like a rainbow after every storm, it was a good launching pad for a digital close experience.
Now, I've known you for years at this point, and I feel like whenever we talk, there's an emphasis between a consultative approach, but also white glove service. Now, you've adopted that approach, and what are the biggest challenges that you see outside of that service that you're delivering to lenders for lenders to actually adopt a paperless process?
I do love white glove service because I like doing things well. And like I said, I'm a people person. And so I really think the biggest thing with the digital adoption has been change management. We know the technology works, the technology is built, it's patented, it's there. It's just the adoption piece. And so that's where I think like that hands-on white glove treatment is important, because it's not just about selling technology, having a great idea to implement it. It's about actually successfully adopting it with internal teams and partners.
So when you go to look at that adoption process, how often after you get through showing use cases are people like, oh, do you have that moment after you take them through things where it clicks and they're like, I see the vision now?
Yeah, but it happens time and time again at every different level of the organization. Because the C-suite has the great idea to implement something new, they can see the ROI in it, but you've also got to get the buy-in of the people that are using it every single day and that are speaking with those borrowers and working with them. Because it's those people that are on the ground with the borrowers that really make the biggest impact, I think.
Let's talk about the borrowers for a minute. How much do you see this impacting their experience when they actually go to close their mortgage or when they're in the process of even getting to the table?
Drastically. I mean, when's the last time you shopped for anything and expected to get it quickly and you weren't online? So consumers have a digital expectation from the start of their home shopping process. So I really like that eClosing allows them to, not only shop for the homes online before it gets, to the closing table, but then review those documents at home in their slippers and then show up to a closing table from virtually anywhere. And they feel more confident, and it's a 15-minute experience.
Or let's say you're a nurse or a firefighter and you just came off of a 24-hour shift and you only have 12 hours or however many hours before your next shift, and you have to look at documents. You don't have to go into an office. You can sit, you can take your shower, sit in your pajamas and actually review something. I mean, to me, that we weren't there as an industry is so crazy because I mean, even today, I ordered something and had it delivered here on site and was able to see where it was the whole time. Went out, got it, no problem. And it's crazy, I think sometimes that there's still some people who want to hold on to that paper.
Yes, and I have so much respect for the people and processes that came before me. But I think we have to be agile and continue to grow with our environments. And so when you mention, frontline workers, things like that, I have to take it a step further because it has been so impactful for everyone in the military that's stationed overseas. And so that's an even more difficult situation to come to a closing table. And so this absolutely solves that problem. And it's more than just solves the problem, it makes the situation better.
I hadn't even considered that avenue, and I'm feeling very guilty that I haven't, but I love that you have. And that this is an opportunity that really brings everyone into the home buying process and affords that opportunity, I think most importantly, to everyone, because it's already stressful enough, right? We don't need to make it any more complicated or any more stressful.
I agree. And I loved HousingWire's introduction today to the Mortgage Banking Summit, where it was all about the homeowner's American dream. I mean, this really is the dream, the convenience and the confidence when you're buying a loan or a home.
Absolutely. And I want to read this part because this is a significant testament to your leadership. Under your leadership, DocMagic has achieved significant adoption milestones, including 850 million e-signatures and 3 million e-closings. Those numbers are insane. What strategies have been the most effective in driving this level of transformation?
Thanks. I am very, very fortunate to stand in front of amazing technology. That's absolutely the foundation of our success. But I think it also comes with the expertise and the hand-holding. Because even after a lender has implemented something new, any new technology, that technology has to be able to grow with that lender. And so when we talk about e-signatures, that's almost, I'm not even impressed by e-signatures that much anymore because it's an expectation. Right. But if we continue to take it further and further, we now have electronic HELOCs is our newest thing that's been registered with MERS this year. We're also very excited about how AI can help the entire mortgage origination process. So it's growing and scaling with our partners, I think.
I think that that's fantastic. I think the pace of innovation that we're at in an industry is just incredible. I feel like we're moving faster than ever before, just striving to provide that optimal borrower experience. Because at the end of the day, you're putting people in homes, which I feel like is what resonates from that message earlier in the video that we showed at the beginning of the summit. We're talking about all of these really technical aspects of mortgage, but at the end of the day, all of these processes put someone in a home, which I think is so special. So I want to take a beat and I want to go over and switch gears a little bit and talk about you and how you mentor and advocate for women in lending. How do you approach leadership and team development, and what advice would you or do you give to your team to succeed in, like I said, a very fast evolving industry?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think it's important to identify your strengths and weaknesses, be honest with yourself. In my colleagues, I certainly try to, once we identify what they're good at, put them in those positions, build their confidence, and then give them room to grow, because a leader is only as strong as their team.
Now, I love that. I love being able to reflect on your strengths and weaknesses, and clearly it's something that you excel at. You are a Rising Star winner this year, and you've had a very successful career. What is one accomplishment that you are most proud of, and what lessons from that experience have guided your leadership style?
Gosh, okay. It's probably going to be our e-mortgage adoption at DocMagic. just because I have been tracking that since the beginning of my career, my entry into this industry. So that's right after college. And I have seen it creep and creep and creep. But it continues to grow. But what really makes me proud and where I know my name is on there somewhere is that DocMagic's e-mortgage adoption continues to be about 20% above the industry average. So that's within my hula hoop of things I can control.
What an accomplishment, 20% above industry average. That is incredible, congratulations. So ending it on a note, I don't know how we follow that up, but what are you most excited about for the future and where do you think are the biggest areas for innovation?
Gosh, I hate to not be, novel here, but it's going to be AI. It's going to be continuing to implement digital solutions to make our workforce stronger and our processes for our borrowers better.
What a place to leave it. Leah, thank you so much for joining me today on this episode of 10-Minute Talks, and congratulations again on your Rising Star Award.
Thank you, Allison. I appreciate it.
I can't wait to see what more you do in the industry.
More to come.
More to come.